I'm Allison Gabriel. I'm the Thomas J. Howatt Chair in Management in the Daniels School of Business at Purdue University. So workplace venting is when coworkers are sharing negative experiences that they're having, and this can come from a variety of areas. It could be venting about stressors associated with your supervisor, with your coworkers, clients. It can even be stressors that are happening to you outside the work environment. And it operates under this assumption that we're having this conversation and I'm sharing this information with you, the stressful information, as a way to hopefully let off steam and ideally feel better after I engage in this type of conversation. Venting is really tricky. So we enter it assuming we're going to feel better after we do that. What the data tends to show, though, is that we actually feel worse. And the reason for that is when you're venting about something that's been bothering you or really stressing you out, we tend to relive that entire experience. So we feel all of the bad emotions that we had previously, we put ourselves back in that position. And so for a lot of people, they walk away from that experience actually feeling kind of bad all over again. So even though we go into it hoping it's going to make us feel better, it also has the potential to backfire and really make us stressed out all over again. When you're vented to, it's a really tricky position to be in because on the one hand, you want to be there for the person, right? It can feel good that this individual came to you and wants to vent to you because maybe they trust you. They view you as somebody who will be a good listener. But it can also be really distressing. So take, for example, if somebody's coming to vent to you about a boss and you both have the same boss. You're listening to the story, and while you're trying to be there for that person, you likely also feel a lot of distress yourself and start wondering, well, wait, we share the same boss. Is this going to happen to me? Am I going to be the next person that this individual is targeting? And so for the recipient of venting, it's really this double-edged sword. We can feel a lot of empathy and support and want to support the person coming to us, and we're self-interested. So we're also going to feel distress and worry because we might wonder if we're going to be the next person having the same negative experience that we're hearing about. Venting can strengthen connections between coworkers when we can get that empathy response going. So when we can really view venting as an opportunity to support somebody, to put ourselves in their shoes, to try to help them, right? When we are in that mindset, we're more oriented to look for solutions. We're more oriented to try to figure out, well, how could I, this person's venting to me about a really tricky client that a lot of us share. So how can I proactively make things better at work, for them, for myself, for my other coworkers who may have this experience. We also see that, when we feel that when we're similar to people, we'll be better able to get into that mindset because we'll say, hey, we're really alike. And so I can put myself in your shoes, I can be there for you, I can be helpful. So the more we can approach it from that mindset, the better. It's when we start to think about venting as a stressor, as something that may happen to me as well, that the venting experience really gets hijacked and problematic. We need to rethink venting by being careful, I think, about when we're venting. So rather than just go in and vent to anybody, I think organizations would, one, be well positioned to, of course, view venting as a source of valid information. So if somebody is bringing this to you, it's important to understand what it actually is. At the same time, I think we also need to encourage people to be a little careful, right? To make sure that if you are going to vent to somebody, maybe you let them know that that's what's about to happen, right? You don't want to be the colleague that's just dropping in on people's offices and starting to vent with no warning. It would be worthwhile to say, hey, something's been really bothering me and I need somebody to talk to about it. Do you have time? Do you have capacity for that conversation? And normalizing having a safe space to share those feelings, of letting people have a heads up, right, that this is going to be coming their way, that can help stop the negative aspects of venting and really get people in that better mindset of, okay, this person's about to vent to me and I'm ready to support and I have the time and the capacity to do so.